Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day, taking a look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Kind of plus and minus 60,000 here for the moment. We had this mysterious little pump here from 57.5 up to 61.3. Price is pulling back. I think we're due to see the price pull back a little bit further. At the very least, some altcoins should start to pull back because this Bitcoin dominance situation is out of control. When it gets this high, a lot of alts tend to suffer. Obviously, if it's Celestia or SUI, different story altogether. I covered those earlier if you're curious about what those are looking like, but the whole point of this is to kind of just give you a preface and help you understand that things are a little odd going into the Fed meeting tomorrow. And I think we need to recognize that's probably going to be one of the more monumental Fed meetings just based on the way that things are shaping. Now, one of my admins summarized it very, very well in our Discord, so be sure to check that out, Mr. Anderson. Appreciate you too, bud. You got some awesome information at all times. But more importantly, there's some a blurb there, of course, if you're curious. But generally speaking, the Fed interest rate meeting tomorrow from the Fed is going to be a volatile one, to say the least. So be very careful having any high or even medium leverage going into it. We have a low leverage short right now that's currently on profit. I recommend, of course, if you're in that trade, just adjust your stop loss lower. As the price gets down, it's a short on AVAX, just to give you perspective. So let's take a look here at our Bitcoin last 7 days. Let's go ahead and refresh here. And what we're going to do is just quickly look at liquidation, see if it's increased or decreased at all. Sometimes you can kind of see that and really looking very, very similar to before. We got the sweep of this upper level of liquidation at 61.3, still existing at 56K, the previous longs here that are in profit. Those are late longs that jumped in at 57.5. So anyone who got in the last 48 hours, 72 hours is essentially in the green, or sorry, correction, it's more so 24 to 48 hours. And if we do take a look here at the bigger picture, we can recognize that there's still a lot of liquidation left. In fact, I kind of summarized it on the charts. There's roughly 55 billion. I counted that up. Each one of these bars is roughly 6 to 7 billion. So there's a lot of liquidation here between now and 62.5. So just keep that in the forefront of your mind. It doesn't necessarily mean the price is going to increase. It just tells us there's a lot of resistance there, and folks typically put their stop loss and or liquidation events occur at those ranges. Okay, so just know that there is some resistance there. Having said that, let's go ahead and jump into the chart and kind of see what's going on here. And we're just going to quickly summarize from earlier today. So if you caught my video from earlier, this might sound like a bit of a repeat, but I just kind of got it fresh in my mind here. So we'll go ahead and cover that for anyone who may not have saw that video. So again, liquidation range above us. We've got liquidation below us too, so keep this in mind right here. In this lower range, as low as about 55K, there's a developing amount of liquidation. Again, we kind of see that here, but from 55 to 57.5, there's probably a good 15 to 20 billion at least right there. Just kind of paraphrasing, I can count that up later, but know that we're kind of smack dab in the middle of this little range. We are closer to the larger range up top, so there's that as well. And generally speaking, liquidation does work as a magnet in a lot of ways. So if tomorrow happens to be somewhat bullish and Jerome Powell's up there talking about how awesome things are going to be, we're probably going to see some spikes to the upside. We're also going to see some dips too, because the Fed meeting is notorious for just wiping out any high leverage shorts and longs. So it's literally just going to do like a little heartbeat monitor, shoot up, shoot down, and then it'll find its range within the next hour or two after. So if you're going to be trading into that, just be mindful that liquidation events occur a lot. It's like a big moneymaker for exchanges on that day. It's kind of like a Black Friday every single time a Fed meeting occurs. Anyways, take a look here at RSI. We're over 50 on the RSI. That's generally bullish. That hasn't changed at all, of course. Stochastic swinging down, but looking for its second swing up. Potential convergence there. MACD is also there, as well as the TSI is high. In other words, these are all very bullish signs. We look at the SMAs too. We're over the 50 and the 20. So my speculation is, even though Bitcoin is due to correct itself, I don't know if we're going to see a monumental correction now. We are still honoring this ascending trend line. And basically yesterday when we closed on the daily candlestick, we were looking very bearish. We closed below a support level. We had a lot of reasons at smaller time frames as to why the price was due to continue further down. And just kidding, market woke up on fire today. Okay, so again, that's really, really par for the course. All the more reason, if you're ever in profit, adjust your stop loss higher or lower depending on your direction, to ensure that you are securing profits, and not the market right now to just kind of hurry up and wait or to not use a stop loss. Granted, you could argue that this is almost the best market to use no stop loss because of the simple fact that it's so volatile that you'll get stopped out. What's the point? But again, you got to be willing to lose that money if you're going to be using leverage. So to offset that, very, very low leverage may be the best solution if you're going to insist on no stop loss. Having said that, let's transition over the 4-hour time frame and recognize that we're still mostly bullish, right? RSI is tapering off, pulling back. Money flow index is under 50. I don't really love that. Generally, I would like to see that above 50, give us any indication that we're on track. So what this basically just means is that we've seen a lot of selling pressure in the last 14 candles, and the price is pulling back, and that also includes this high volume candle. So that doesn't really give me a lot of confidence. However, we do have good trend strength, as well as the fact that the MACD is converging here still. Stochastic swinging up, potentially going to diverge soon. There's more reasons here as to why we're in better shape than we aren't as far as Bitcoin is concerned. We zoom in a little bit too, we can see every single moving average is below the price. So hypothetically at this point, we look at fib levels alone and we got some converging factors. I would say 59,200 would be a solid consideration for a long if things don't go awry tomorrow, right? Again, the reason why, because we have, well, first of all, it's a key fib level for the moment. We can also recognize all moving averages are starting to move towards that level, as well as the simple fact that we got a fair value gap there that may get filled, and if so, we could see a bounce from there. All right, so that's just a general consensus there. Let's take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud. This is telling us that technically you're still good to go to leave your long position open, okay? I would urge caution in doing so, but once again, more important at this point, majority of factors here are mostly bullish. So you're going to find more luck going up than down at this point. And again, mainly because last 24 hours has been super, super strong. Again, it's just been a complete fake out. There's so many bearish confirming factors at this point that it shouldn't have continued higher, but it did. And this is exactly why, that high, massive volume. So some market makers were pushing the price action higher. I'm willing to guess that they were pushing the price action up. So a lot of folks like you and I will FOMO in. And now that we've FOMO'd into the 60,000 range, hypothetically, they're more likely to dump tomorrow and get more profit from you. So just got to keep in mind, this is a very manipulative market and game. There's a reason why this previous high just got swept and the price is back below it again. It's a very, very common characteristic. You could say it's, well, this isn't power of 3 per se, but there's scenarios in which you see the price travel within a range, fakes you out, and then shoots up to destroy everybody who's a late short. That's essentially what happened here. The difference is that's probably also likely going to happen to the longs too. So just try not to blindly jump into a long position right now while there's a lot of confirming factors. This kind of behavior leading into the Fed meeting gives me a significant pause to want to pump the brakes, relax, take it easy, right? Again, technically we've got 2 trades open right now. One is long, one is short, essentially one hedging the other. So it's not like we're getting too crazy right now, and you really shouldn't, based on the Fed meeting. It can get absolutely out of control. So just keep that in mind. That's all there is to it. So that's about all I got there for you, folks. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you did find benefit here, of course. As per usual, you can always say thank you by just hitting the like button, maybe even commenting below if you get a chance. But do appreciate you nonetheless. Thanks again so much for all the awesome support over the years. I actually had somebody commenting in my channel day before yesterday, or no, actually it was earlier today rather, saying they've been watching me since I started my channel 4 years ago. It's awesome. So cool, great stuff. Thanks again so much. Appreciate that. All right, y'all have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care of yourself.